Hi all, welcome to another Chess24 Banter Blitz. So it's 11:30 AM UK time. Okay, let's take the first challenge. Okay, the Commutator. Let's start with a Sicilian defense in this first game. Made off. Classic. Let's go with e5. I know it gives a hole on d5, but maybe I can quickly play for d5 here. Actually, it depends really what white does. An immediate there, I'm thinking this is good against an immediate g4. I might be wrong. There's a saying about parrying a flank attack with central attack as a sort of general guideline. It really depends on the position, but here, yeah, it might be okay to do this, especially if I got to play d4 to chase away this knight and then hit e4. Oh, okay, I like this. I think it's liberated this bishop. If this bishop is usually locked in with a pawn on d6, but here it's got free reign, and I'm driving that knight back, so I think this is a promising continuation. If the knight goes back to b1, then maybe knight c6, and it just looks actually quite good for rook c8 and knight b4 later. There's a few other plans, I think, with this structure. h5 might even be tempting later. One thing about g4, sometimes it provides g5, which increases sometimes white's influence on d5, but I'm not sure that's the case here. Oh, I'm going to take this. Yeah, I think I'm going to just take this. Okay. Okay, that looks pretty good so far. There is queen h4 here. King f2 looks awkward. I think I might be able to nudge that king with bishop c5 and d3. Or even d3 immediately. Well, there's bishop e3. Given that there's d3, bishop e3. Oh, okay. Oh, thanks for the game, Commutator. Now, Kramnik Student said he'd be back in 15 minutes, so let's skip Kramnik Student for a moment, just to give him a bit more time. Go into Fenneman. Yeah, if you want to challenge me, if you become a premium member of Chess24, you can challenge me. Usually I accept the challenges half an hour actually before this time, so before the scheduled time, so it'll be like 11. I'd be logged in and you could challenge me, and they all accumulate as pending challenges, so if you want to do that, that'd be great. To see you. Okay, let's see. If I go b4 here, I'm hoping he doesn't sack. Actually, I didn't check that out. I think I want to play d3. Sacking, I'm not sure is sounds. It is 2 pawns. Okay, I'm going to protect that now, and then play for a4 later, or now. I think this does have a perk to it, with this diagonal here. If that bishop's on b6, this looks good. Actually, for winning knight e5, winning a pawn seems a promising idea in this position. I know I was threatening to trap the bishop, and that's probably a reaction to that, but I think a6 would have been a pinned pawn here. A takes. If a6 had been played, then there'll be a pin against the rook, but here I'm free, I think, to take this pawn. That's interesting. I'm thinking just, well, there's a lot of interesting options. Maybe just bishop a3, as mentioned earlier. Just to sort of discourage d5, an extra pin piece in the position. Alright, f7 now. Maybe best knight f7 because the queen's kind of checkmated. Yeah, the queen hasn't got any squares here. Thanks for the game, Fenneman. Okay, yeah, give Kramnik Student a bit more time. Azumist seems to be okay, pretty quick on these at the moment so far. Azumist, Okay, so let's see. Let's see. Is Kremlik student back? Okay, the next challenge will be Kremlik student. He's back, it seems, on the chat. Okay. So we're playing classic here. Gyoko piano. I keep getting told off about how on YouTube how to say it. Gyoko. It's no joking matter. Okay. I'll set up a fishing pole because I'm crude like this. I'm too tempted by naughty stuff. I know, it's terrible. I think it comes from playing in okay, too much online chess with as many games as you can cram in as possible style mentality. It's probably bad for your chess. But anyway, it's also sometimes fun anyway, this sort of thing. Let's see. I think it is kind of dangerous for blitz. Well, when I say I think it's dangerous, really, I hope it's dangerous. Yeah, I hope it's dangerous. It does activate a rook at minimum, and there is a pinned pawn here at the moment on f2. And although it looks as though the queen can't reach h4, that might be a temporary thing solved by f5 and queen h4. So all in all, I think it's got potential to be dangerous. Potential. But how is the rest of my development? I'm going to like prompt it, because otherwise knight f2 and g4. I'm going to prompt this taking. I'm going to play knight takes and g4. He's covered g3 though, makes it less tempting. Alright, I'll put the queen on e7 so it can swing via h7 if needed. There's always bishop e3 as well if this g4 g3 plan is not entirely fantastic. So there's another question about knight f5. If I take that, any hg later, is it less effective? After hg, the knight moves queen h7. Is it actually less effective? Okay, so there's a few things going on. Bishop e6 check is added to the equation here. Maybe, yeah. Oh, d5 and e4 looks like an interesting new avenue here for activating this rook. d5 and e4. If this knight ever moved, alright, it's blunting the bishop. Okay. And d5 almost threatens to like trap this knight. Okay, I think I'll play d5 myself. Maybe for e4 and queen d6. So threatening mate hg, hg, and g3 after that. There's things like rook h3 and doubling rooks. So yeah, the sensitive point. Oh, crikey. I'm surprised because maybe I can take with this knight now. I'll take with that knight. So it's not offered continually. I'm threatening to damage the pawn structure. I'll damage the pawn structure here. Oh, now any bishop a7, the king comes out. But is it a big deal? There's queen d4 after. And what about d4? Maybe d4? Yeah, d4 looks maybe to activate this rook. To avoid this pawn being isolated. The treble pawns, isolated pawn structurally. Doesn't look entirely. It's like Granny's old teeth there. So d4, yeah. Let's see. So I'm threatening knight f3. Right, can I double on the D file? If I double on the D file, any discovered attack here, there might be Queen D6 and Queen G3 at some point. Queen D6, Queen G3, FG. The discovered attack doesn't do anything at the moment. There's too many escape squares. But it's something to bear in mind to line up for. Maybe something like Rook D3 for Queen G3. So that would pin that pawn, Queen G3, Queen H3. This also protects C7 anyway. So Rook D3 also hits F3 anyway. So Rook E3, Queen G3. There's Bishop E3. I have Rook C7 here, Queen G3. I could let that go. I could play C6 just to sort of give the idea. Okay. I'll play C6 for a moment. Just in case, in fact, there's Rook C7, Rook C8 mating potentially. Just realised that with that bishop on E6. So yeah, I just want to play calmly with Rook D3, Queen G3. Play it here. So frat then Queen G3. Take this guy. Rook C6 is dangerous, so if I play G4 then there's Queen F3 after. Try and get the queens off before I get mated here. And there's Queen F4 check as well. King A8. So Rook C6 is starting to look dangerous. If I had to take in Queen C6. Even after that, Queen F3. Though I've got an escape square on B7 now, so that's not even... I don't think that's a major thing. I think I will start with taking the queen off the board. Oh, he is threatening mate with Rook C8. Now that would be a classic. I can mate in return with Rook D1 here. Because I got that form pawn mating, I think. Alright. Thanks so much. It was almost. Alright, Kramnik students. Okay. I thought he was around. Oh. Well, let's try this. I quite like the tango. He's trying to dissuade my knight from being on G6. I like this position quite a lot, actually. So my good friend Paul Georgiou played this a lot in Blitz. Plays this a lot. Still around. I think already the dark squares are kind of attractive. The pin's not is an inconvenience. I'm just wondering to unpin with Queen D7. The double pawn's not a big deal, I think, if I get that G file pressure. I can play for F6, Bishop E3 to double the pawns here. If there is a double pawns there, my queen can probably go to A7, wriggle to A7 to torture, or maybe even H6. Maybe even H6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. If I keep the knight on G4, it seems difficult to move that knight. The only thing, C5 might be an issue. I could try and put a break on C5 first before doing anything. How many moves does it take? 1, 2, 3 to challenge that knight. Well, if my queen goes to H6, torture this little pawn. I want to make sure there's no pawn breaks like C5. As knight F2, he does get to parry with knight. That's a shame. Well, there's always rook E1 anyway. It wasn't a major big deal plan. This okay. Can I keep my bishop? I think I might find it more interesting to keep the bishop here. His bishop's locked in by his own pawns. I don't think the queen's that bad on h6, but what is the plan? Any b5, there might be c5 in response later. Maybe I can castle kingside and play for b5. Any c5 he just takes on pawn and hits d6. But b5, c5 takes for d6 is also a bit scary, but maybe c6 to cover the d5 square. So in other words, can I play b5, basically? Let's try and open up this b file. Okay, I'm hoping this isn't as dangerous as it might seem, because if that d5 is covered, I'm not sure how he wins c5. Okay, there is a possibility of winning c5. If I play for c4 here, maybe my queen is in the wrong place. Okay, I'll still play for this b4, maybe a5 and b4. Alright, he wants to exchange off that. The knight hasn't got that much prospect after, but it does unblockade. What about knight f6 then? I don't want to unblockade this pawn. Okay, h5 is a bit loose. If I play a5 for b4, that looks good. Any queen e2, maybe g6. I don't have to worry about f6 so much with that knight there. Right, so b4, there's queen c4 now. So what about queen to f7? For a moment, does he play g4? He might play g4. Knight c5, d7, knight d3. He wouldn't sack the exchange, would he? I'll protect f6 first at least. I don't want to lose too many pawns. Oh. Actually, this is a bit scary now. I think I've given too much play. Okay. I'm about to blunder horribly. Hold on. No, this is a bit scary. I shouldn't have allowed this. I think we close potentially. Okay. Close the position. This is not great. I think I'm in trouble. Yeah. Try and cover e6. Try and play for queen h7 after the sack, which is inevitable. As long as the diagonal isn't killing immediately. Is there a possibility of rook f8 here? Queen g5, rook f2, rook h6, rook f7, two rooks for the queen. Takes. This ending with knight c5 to d3 might be good with the rook on the 7th. It depends how many checks he's got. I could just take on f6 here. I thought we'd go for queen g5 and rook h6. Thanks to the game, Kremlin. Maybe something happens psychologically. Maybe a bit of overexcitement. I don't know, from a very, very promising position, attacking position. So all enough. This Benko Gambit thing here, will he stop? with a4. No, I think I might try this. Doesn't he play this against me? Doesn't he? Without recalling that correctly, he plays this sort of thing against me. Can I just take on e4 and then check? Bishop c3. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Hang on, queen a1 after. I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go. I'm hoping this works. Check. Knight c3, bishop c3, takes, check. No, actually, I've just blundered the piece, haven't I? I have just blundered the piece, like a total moron. Yeah, for some reason I was thinking I'd win the rook on oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I thought I'd be winning the rook on a1. Ah, Muppets. 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 No, just giving a piece for fun, yeah, okay. It might be a little bit awkward here, in the context of a Blitz game though, to put it away. I hope. Try and stop castling. Why didn't I play? No, because he's taking my queen. Okay, my calculations. Okay, great in this one. Bishop c3. Yeah. Yeah. I could nab another pawn here, which is poisoned. Is that because of rook b1 and bishop c3? No, there's queen e2 on rook b1. Okay, I'll take another pawn. If he castles queen a1, if he plays rook b1, maybe take another pawn with queen a3 and queen. Well, the a pawn looks vulnerable. If he plays bishop c3, queen takes e2 check. I'm just thinking queen takes, bishop takes, queen d2. That wins back a piece, doesn't it? Queen takes e2 on bishop c3. Bishop c3, queen takes e2. Now this one, can I not try for another pawn? The a pawn. With bishop c4. In fact, isn't there queen c4 on castling? Oh, there's knight g3. Well, here, bishop c4, doesn't that win another pawn? Because it's all with tempo, and then I play rook a4. And I hit the bishop, another tempo. I hit the bishop on e4. Which pins the knight, which means bishop c4 after, which weakens d5 anyway. So rook d7, rook e4, threatening bishop c4 and bishop d5. Alright, I take another pawn. I can pin here. Pin's always nice to have. Knight g3, maybe rook e3 and simplify. I can protect e7, which is another nice thing to do in general. Knight g3, is that rook getting trapped? Rook e6, maybe? Actually, knight g5 is addressed as well with bishop f6, so it's dual purpose, that's good. Rook b8 for rook b2. I need to do something about this rook. This looks a strange location for a rook. But there is that sort of pin. I think I want to get this rook into the game. I can threaten to double the pawns with bishop d5 and stop rook b7. Also c4, c3 might be something. In regard of decentralizing pieces, h5, h4 to decentralize the knight, is it really worth it? It goes to f4 after. In fact, that looks like a dangerous plan anyway. Knight e2 to f4. Would he address doubling the pawns? Okay. I like my bishop pair. I wonder if I just try and keep the tension here, and it supports c2. So c4, c3, c2. Alright, I can support c3. So if you ever took c2, I don't want to lose e7. On the other hand, knight d4 is dangerous. Isn't it better to lose e7 and allow the wrath of knight d4? I'm not entirely sure. If I, as it was knight c6 there as well. Okay, for a moment. Actually, this. Okay, I better do something. Protect this one. He's getting rid of my strong pawn. Oh, so it's only 2 pawns for a knight. I think something was giving that, unfortunately. My rooks are active here, aren't they? Rook c2. Right now, I'll stop knight e4. That's too central for me. Stop h5. Give my king an exit. Right, I think I've got to get my pawns working. This one? Am I dropping this one? Okay. Hold that for a moment. Then play d5, d4. Any way of stopping that? Okay, yeah. Okay, thanks. Yeah, I gave myself a lot of grief. Yeah, okay, thanks. Okay, PHC 123. Losing a okay, 2 pawns though. It was fun. It's Haldane attack with Queen H5. I'll try the Haldane attack. So this has ideas of knight g5 and knight b5 to d6 sometimes. I'm supposed to do here. Oh yeah, was it bishop g5? I think the idea was bishop g5 to try and prompt a weakness on the dark squares. So taking a knight b5. So I played Haldane in a rapid once it was a draw. Quite interesting. In fact, knight b5 here takes knight d6 is dangerous, isn't it, for mating? Well, I hope when I say I think it's dangerous. G6 I could take on e7, bishop e7, knight d6, king f8, queen f7, mate, king e7, queen f7, mate, queen a5, c3, g6, I think I take on e7. Yeah, I think I have to take on e7. Although I do wonder I do wonder about the check there. Oh dear. I wonder about the check in that position. That looks kind of interesting with my queen hanging. Okay. Aside from that technical note, highly technical note, I'm sure it was fine. I'm sure it was fine. No, I need to look up how to play this. I need a bit of a reminder course how to play the Haldane attack. Queen a5 check, c3, g takes. I'm not sure what compensation I've got there. Maybe I would have moved my bishop and had a dark square bishop at least. No, I don't know. I have to have a quick look at this position. I'll just quickly rewind here. Remote. Check. Takes. No, hold on. Bishop d2. Bishop d... No, it was when I took. Alright, let's get back into the game anyway. Pardon me. Let's get back into the game, find the current position. Check. Look at it after for a moment. Intriguing. Can I not just take here in this case? Right. There. Well, this looks again as though I should be okay, right? The king's in the firing line. So c4 does seem kind of logical on knight takes. Using the default rook on castling queenside on d1. It's actually, it seems awkward for black to defend d5. How does black defend d5 here? Is that... This looks wrong, yeah, with the king on d8. I seem to have too much bonus points for opening up the d file, and it doesn't seem as though it's easy even to protect the d5 point. So... knight. Okay. Can I not just take and then d6? Or in fact, knight b5 and d6. Knight c8, king c8, d6. If I played queen g7 first to try and improve that rook f8, knight c8, d6. Oh, okay, I'll go with this. So I expect king takes here, d6. Now this knight could be attacked with queen e3. Now that taking out off that light square bishop does weaken some light square points. It adds, although it might have been bad, it added a bit of solidity on light squares. Let's get out of the discovered check. Also, rook c1 is a bonus of king b1, rook c1. I think I've reinforced e5 here now. b4 looks good actually. Well, no, maybe not. Queen e4, check. My back row is a bit vulnerable here after rook takes, so I'll sort out the back row with bishop e2. Now I seem to be safe to take here, except there's queen. There's rook c8 after. Probably an alternative is just to double the rooks here, and then play b4, just to avoid any potential risk. Like, this looks much safer to take on c5 now with tempo. Bishop f3 or knight c6 here. Alright, thanks for the game, PHC. Premium members only, please, on the challenges. I have to remove the non-premium challenges about it. Hi, Dragon. Okay, let's see. Maybe French defense. So I used to play this bishop e7 quite a bit. It can be on a bit on the passive side though. I'm not sure this is totally theoretical. Knight d2, bishop e7, bishop d3, knight f6. Doesn't look entirely right to me. I thought this knight should go here, and this knight should go to f3 to reinforce d4 with both knights here. There's only one knight reinforcing d4. I think theory is this knight here, yeah, and that knight there. Now, I might be mistaken, but it seems d4 is weaker than usual. Unless it's a5 is going to say anything about this position. I could try and rule out a5 from white and just leave that pressure for a moment on d4 to question this setup without adding a5 to the equation here as a distraction. Because the queen, knight and pawn, adding a lot of weight to d4 here. Yeah, I think mainline, old mainline Tarrasch, yeah, with the knight e2. Okay, he's pinning that knight. I will take anyway. Okay, this light square bishop, surely not. That seems too much of a bonus, which black doesn't usually get. Knight d3 looks too much of a bonus black doesn't usually get. I don't remember this in Watson's classic landmark book, Play the French. That's a bit outdated now, but no, some of the lines, some of the ideas, they persist. Knight d3 c5, knight b5, bishop takes, a takes, c4 with the threat of queen f2, rook f1, queen takes b5 after that. There's also bishop d3. I think I like the nice knight on d3 in this line. c5, knight b5, bishop takes, a takes, c4. I can take on f4. If I kick that central knight for a moment. Winning f4 is a temptation. Is it an evil temptation to be aware of? The knight on f2, and I'm now threatening queen f2, king d1. There's knight d4, there's bishop c5, putting pressure on d4 again. Alternatively, I could take that pawn. Let me see, knight d4, bishop c5, or just take on f4. Might be a good idea because e5 is crumbling after that, surely. If I go back to d3, I've given him some f-file pressure, which might be the source of my demise later, but it's at the moment doesn't look entirely likely, not immediately. So it's undermining, right? It's not totally undermined, is it? I can take back for a moment. I'm hitting e5 now. Now taking on e3 doesn't seem so bad. I'm going to take on e5, we'll just castle. We'll castle for a moment. Another pawn bites the dust, as Queen would say. Maybe takes and then... Okay, he's going to get a pawn back. If I just give him that pawn under favourable surfaces without connecting his pawns up with a4, then I can play knight d3 after. So I give him a pawn back. Play knight d3, he's got rook a6. But then there's queen b8 for h2. The knight, I like the octopus knight concept. From there's this Karpov-Kasparov game in the World Championship. Kasparov had an octopus knight on d3. It's a bit like this. It's one of my favourite Sicilian defence games. But anyway, here I'm threatening queen f4, queen h2. In fact, queen f4, king d1, queen is mating, queen f1, king d2, queen e1, checkmate. So I'm threatening queen f4. This looks winning for queen f2, queen e1. Looks pretty forced, as forcing sequences go. Thanks for the game, Dragon. Grieve. Okay. 72, the year of the Fischer-Spassky match. 1972. I'll do this because knight h6 to f5 I've played quite a bit. If the bishop's on g3, it's a bit of a target. I'll delay this plan for a moment. This is another plan for my friend Paul Georgiou, I've got to say, because I played a bit of the Trompowsky. Well, the Trompowsky is d4, knight f6, bishop g5. It's the Levitsky attack. d4, d5, bishop g5 is Levitsky. I believe, is it Levitsky? I might be making this up, actually. And Trompowsky is spelt with a W, not a V. Maybe it's actually Trompowsky. I've been pronouncing that a bit wrong. Okay, but they're kind of almost sometimes relatives anyway. So here, though, knight f5, queen h5, there's g6. I've got the threat of h5 to threaten h4, trapping the bishop, because bishop f4, g5. But for the moment, I'm going to play this. Or shall I play h5? There might be an advantage in playing h5 immediately. I'll do it. Because any knight f3, there's still h4, because the knight's supporting h4. cd, I think, might be suspect. cd, h4, e4, knight takes d4. Alright, I'll threaten again without any bishop h5 check. I'm concerned actually about cd here. Queen d5 hits g2 now because he's moved that bishop away from g2. So knight c3, queen g2 maybe. Bishop f3 traps my queen. Maybe queen a5, but then d5. Yeah, I think I've done this wrong. I've given him also c7. I'm protecting c7 here. Yeah, he could have just taken on c7. Okay. No, I should have played d5. I feel I should have played d5 when I had the chance. Not d5. I mean e6. But it's happened. We have this position. Whatever's going on is going on. Okay. Maybe knight b4 is possible. Or just knight b4, or just knight b8, just to avoid too much hassle. Okay, maybe I should just take that and try and do something with the dark square bishop and the dark squares, which pawns on light squares, adjacent dark squares have been weakened. It looks as though white's got a sort of space advantage, but it doesn't seem an authoritative space advantage in that without the dark square bishop, I think any further space gains could be double-edged. Yeah. Alright, what about bishop d7 and maybe castling queenside? f5 is imminent to undermine h5. So bishop d7, okay. I thought there's a possibility of castling queenside. Castling check, taking this pawn, too greedy, possibly. King on the b file later. Okay, it's kind of, I don't know. There are a few things to consider here. f5, knight g6, bishop c3. I'll play f5, e5. What about king f7 then? f5, h5. f5, e5, king f7, improvement. e6, winning. Rook h6, knight g6, rook g6, bishop h5. Castle queenside, knight g6, rook g8, bishop h5. Looks the most promising. I'll probably drop e7 as well. g5 might be an interesting bet here. I went just casting knight g6. Okay, I give up a couple of pawns, but sort out my position. A couple of pawns are going to bite the dust. Try and do something after this. Where is he going to castle? Also this queen g1 business. Interesting. f5, e5. What about e6 first? Queen b6 for queen g1. King's got d2. Okay, he's giving me this d-file pressure. Oh, I've just blundered my queen, huh? Didn't see that at all. Is it playable? Is it worth playing on? Oh, it didn't occur to me. Yeah, this looks pretty grim. As grim goes, it's pretty grim. Okay, rook g8. It's not, okay, not even for a pawn. So knight e7's coming soon. I'll take this then. I think you can. Oh, in shell shock. How did I do that? Bishop f7 coming. Have I played bishop f8? Yeah. Oh dear. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Don't know. Okay. Just blundered there horribly. KM Beast. I think I made it very difficult to play when I didn't play e6 anyway. That's something to bear in mind maybe all the time. This prospect of winning the bishop was too much of a bad temptation, I think. This is a bad line for white. No, I think it's a very bad line for white because there might be a checkmate here coming up. I'll go with d5 here, and if g4 h5, try and open up the rook. Okay, I'll drop this back for h5 without losing the bishop. My queen's attacked. Point of note, I'm going to take her. Maybe I should have got more out of this. Yeah, probably should have got more out of this, but anyway. Finally, h5. And dropping e5 is not entirely. Knight e4. I think I double rooks, rook h3 and rook h8. And g3. Rook e4, rook h2. I think this is mating on rook e4. Let's check. G3, rook e4, rook h2. Okay, maybe it's not worth the hassle. Just protect the knight for a moment. So c4, g3. Looks cd, rook h2. So the knight might be handy for mating. Well, this is handy for g4 coverage. Yeah, thanks to the game beast. Okay, billet. Hi there. Oh. I'm trying coconut milk, not coconut milk, coconut cream in the coffee. Coconut cream. It's quite interesting last few days. Hey, what's happening here? Ah, oh, okay. I'm gonna have to go on to the next one. $2,700. Give it a go. Let's try maybe e4. Go down in flames of something sharp in e4. I saw him beat Grandmaster Gustafsson. So this would be fun, wouldn't it? Okay, I think, yeah, he crushed Gustafsson the other day. This is a 3-minute game. Okay. Yes, I've got a rect structure, but with rect structures comes piece activity sometimes. The duality of a rect pawn structure. Rook d1. Alright then, no rook d1. Knight c5 threatening knight e6. Could be interesting. So b6, knight e6, bishop e6, rook e6, pinning the bishop. For a 3-minute game, that should be fun. Right, rook e3, b6, I'm dropping that piece. Rook g3 there, bc, queen h6. Yeah, that could be fun. Swing a rook. So b6, rook g3. Bishop c5, queen h6, g6, bishop g6. It's only a 3-minute game. Got him thinking, at least. And queen d5, he wants the queens off. Do I take the queens off here? I'll try and keep them on. Intriguing. Queen g4, bishop c5, I'm just dropping a piece for nothing. Oh, I guess I'll somehow unpin. Pressure on the e file. Rook e8 doesn't threaten anything. It's got a5 there. Okay, so I'm just losing material by force because of this pin. That's clever. And he's 40 seconds up. That's just great. There's no bishop h7 doesn't do a thing. Can I do this? If a5 knight b7 here, can I do that? Hitting the bishop. You can't move the rook as a rook e8 helps, mate. Okay. In that regard, knight a6. What about b5? Trying to hold on to this pawn. f3, there's bishop, see what I can take. So maybe f3 is interesting. This ending, how bad is it? Start pre-moving. h3 for king f2. Bishop e5, is that mating? It's probably not desirable. What about bishop f5? Taking on d7. Stop d4. Can't really move my knight in a hurry. Am I in the zugzwang? Oh, just pre-move disaster. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was down a bit on the clock. I've beaten him before at some point. That's interesting. Okay. Okay. Thanks. Okay. Let's check here, winning the bishop. Right. Bishop, well, bishop g5 and castle queenside. There's bishop f4 actually with tempo. That's worth a punt. Queen d7, there's knight e5 on the tempo. He could get the queens off. There's maybe d6 after. And castle queenside. Yeah, old castle here. See the play the check and then rook here to rook he1 check. Looks pretty good. I'll take that off for rook e1. Take it here. Thanks for the game. Thanks for the game. Okay, O toppings. Okay, let's check, disruptor check. So c3 I'm going to drop back because I've seen the Magnus Carlsen game recently in this line with bishop e7. It's a bit less known than bishop c5. This queen b3 could be a pain. So maybe knight e5 here and knight g6 for a moment. Just because I'm thinking, yeah, queen b3 was a pain on rook e8. Why didn't I consider taking his centre pawn there? That's interesting. He just left his pawn hanging, did he? Or was that a trap of some sort? Anyway. Bishop f8, c6. It looks as though I'm okay for a moment. And queen b6, there's knight c4. Is knight f4? No. I thought it might have been interesting. Well, queen b6 here looks... There's bishop e3. Let's just stop this pin for a moment. Does he play bishop e3? I'm curious. I've got potential liability on the d file here, this d6. How can I drum up pressure on e4? This is the... Okay. leave that for a moment. If I double, any knight f5 takes knight e5 after. If I double, no, knight f5 is much more robust there. Let's try and do something tactical for a moment, little moment. Threatening c5. Okay, notice that. Let's go back. Okay, teasing a bit. His knight f5 is coming, it seems. What about d5? Trying to uproot that knight. Liberates the bishop. Liability in my position, that d6 pawn. Okay, it looks as though my pieces are happy enough. There's knight f4. I don't think there's any knight h6 at the moment. If I try and cement a few things down. Try and avoid this pawn becoming pinned in some lines with queen coming to g6. Try and be aware of this pawn not becoming pinned. It's nearly winning a piece. Right, queen b6 then. Or queen c8 for bishop h3. Or bishop f5. Can I get away with rook e6 here? Leave the knight on f4. Or is that knight a liability? I can't see it as a liability immediately. I can imagine queen d2, knight g6. I'll try this. Now, rook e1, queen f6 seems okay. There's pressure on his structure here. I don't want a weakened back row after b takes, though I can't take because of rook d8. Oh, queen f6 holds d8. Okay. Can I play g6 as knight d4? Queen e5 threatens mate. I think I'll kick this guy. Queen e4 if I take, and rook a5 after. Knight f6, king g7. Alright, I think that might be okay to take in and take on a5. I'm not running into something too nasty, am I? Oh, knight e8 check. Doesn't win a pawn or anything. Not yet. Try and trap the knight for a laugh. b5. b5 here is possible. Try and win this pawn using that pin. Knight moves, rook a5. I'm on c3. That looks gorgeous. If I'm on c3 with the bishop. And mind you, takes c6. I've still got an extra pawn, right? keep the bishop? Maybe. Trying for b4, b3, b2, supported by the bishop. b4, king e2, b3. No, let's move this away. I think I need my king involved without weakening f5. Oh, is he going to win that pawn? I think the pawn's dropping. Oh, knight. The king wins one of the knights. Okay, that would have been good. Or here, try and win the knights, or put pressure on the knights. Try and weaken f4. Try and get more active king. Play for knight f4, knight h3. I don't want to lose f7, that's the only thing. If I could bring my king back not to lose f7. Oh. Yeah, I'm just grueling. Okay, thanks. Cobra. I'll protect this, I suppose, just in case, because he supported e4, so I think he might be threatening takes and whatever. Let's just check here. Is he going to take? Yeah. I'm tempted. Let's just play normally. Let's just castle. Let's play for d5 later. I think this is what the grandmasters do. They play for d5 generally. Under good conditions. I think there's a few points to that. Either, well, yeah. Okay, let's see. h6 and d5 looks like what's usually played if given the chance. I've seen these two Iranian games he plays with d5 and at least 5 Carlsen games. They both play the black side of this sort of stuff. Okay. Does it matter if he takes and I play knight takes? Does it matter? Right, I'm threatening d takes right now after this rook d8. D takes. So if he releases the tension, he ends up with reliability on d3. On the other hand, the prospect of d4 is a concern, hemming in the bishop. If it's locked down to light squares, it's hemmed in. So there's a few things about d5. It's kind of threatening, I guess. In this particular situation, it's threatening d takes anyway, d4. Here I'm not convinced about that, because knight h7, I'm not convinced usually about this when there's knight h7 available. Unless you can open up this diagonal. There's rook d6 immediately for rook g6. I'm not convinced. I might have an attack there as compensation. I'll play this now. Let's have a quick look at this position. Queen h5, okay, rook g6, d takes, bishop c6. This d4 could be scary. In fact, there's no e4 now because I've just pinned my pawn. Yeah, I'm not sure I played this correctly. Okay. So it takes e4 then. Okay, I'm giving back the piece. He's even got e5. He's even got e5. I've fully justified his sack. Basically, okay. He's even got e5. Is there rook g5 there on knight e5? Maybe. On queen e5. Alright, that's not a problem. I'm just taking the rook g2. So d4, e4. Rook g5 here. Queen h6. f5. f3. Okay. That's taking then. E takes. Queen g7 here. How's this 95 e3 or something? I'll just take her. Oh well, I don't mind. Confront mates with knight f3. Right, let's take that for a moment. I had G1, didn't I? I just realised I had G1. I've still got G1 pattern here because he's interrupted G1. Alright, thanks for the game, Cobra. I think this might be the last one coming up. for today. Hope you enjoyed today. 1 fun, 10 boring if you want to vote. This could be the last game today. I think it's 1 o'clock. Namesake, if he's around. Oh, okay, let's see, next one. Try French. Does he really know this line? I got this an informator many years back. I had good fun with it, this line. Queen C3 here. Is that anything? Right, Queen E3 stops castling. It seems unusual. I don't usually get this. I've played this dozens of times in Blitz in the past, this knight sack line, with different results. Might have a point though. He might have a point. Knight E4, Queen D4 protects, unfortunately. Bishop A6 and then Queen D4. No, Bishop A6, Queen D4, Queen E2. Alright, so maybe it's time for Bishop A6 then. Knight D4, Knight E4 threatening Queen F2, Rook F1 there. Knight C3 or something. That's a good point. He's got the check, hasn't he? Can I play check and then Bishop E2, Queen C5? No, I think I've messed this up. This doesn't look right. Although the pawns look... Sometimes I do get nice pawns, but yeah, not sure. These pawns seem on the way out. Done something wrong here. I'll be interested to analyse it. It's interesting. I think I've done something wrong there. Should have more compensation than this. Yeah. There's no compensation here. I think I'm resigning that. Okay. Alright, thanks. Alright, fun times. Okay. Alright. Hope you enjoyed the session. I'm going to analyse this maybe at some point. And, okay. Thanks very much. Cheers then.